Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the YesSHECan project. I'm delighted to be joined today by the gorgeous Katy. Hello, Katy.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. So for anybody who doesn't know, could you just give us a bit of an introduction into who you are and what you do?
Yes, of course. So hi, I'm Katy. I'm Katy Osborne, and I am that knockout virtual assistant that specialises in events, social media and admin support.
Ooh. So what prompted you to take this avenue as a career?
Actually, I fell into it a little by accident, to be honest. I had built my career up in hospitality, climbing the career ladder until 2020 hit.
Oh gosh, the dreaded 2020.
Exactly. So my role, unfortunately, was made redundant. Had a little bit of a panic because there wasn't any other event positions to sort of move on to, and anywhere that I was applying for required X amount of years in that particular industry, which I just couldn't give them. So I ended up setting up on my own. I realized that I wasn't just events, there are other skills that I could utilize. So I ended up setting up on my own as a virtual assistant, thinking, I don't have to do this forever. Or I could specialize in events and sort of see where it goes. So hence why I would introduce myself as the virtual assistant who specializes in events. You've then got the social media side of things, which kept me afloat, and the admin support as well.
Oh, wow. So would you say that because it was 2020 and because it was lockdown, you did get quite a big uptake when you first started because everyone was so focused with being online, especially the social media side of things?
Yes, definitely. I mean, 2020 was the year of virtual assistants. They popped up out of nowhere because everything had to go virtual. And I think going from such a fast-paced industry to absolutely nothing was a bit of a shock to the system. But when I started up my business, it started, it bloomed really quickly, which was really great. But I almost didn't have a chance to kind of figure out what happens when events come back.
How scary was it to go from, I know obviously you had redundancy, but how scary was it to go from being employed to kind of working by yourself?
Terrifying.
I
had blinkers on, to be honest. I didn't want to go self-employed. I was networking virtually. It was my social life, and I built up many good business relationships with people who were encouraging me. They offered support, so checking my CV, checking presentations, letting me sort of practice on them, things like that. And they even suggested, well, why don't you fly solo? And I was just like, no, I don't want that. I need employment. I need someone to do all of that for me. Until I got asked to do the odd few bits of admin work. I thought, you know what, it can't hurt. I need a bit of extra pocket money. And that's what sort of kept me going until people started realizing what I was doing, and they said, well, you're doing it already. You just need to go official and sort of find your sort of niche. And I was given so many different bits of advice that it was overwhelming. So I think that's what the terrifying part was. I didn't know what fitted where. But I got some support from the Chamber of Commerce, and by the end of the call, they said, well, you know absolutely everything. You just didn't know how it all fitted together. So once I knew that, I was away. I got set up, and I haven't looked back, and I don't think I could go back.
I could imagine it would be really difficult, like obviously working for myself, me, but I couldn't imagine going back to employment after, because I know a lot of people say, don't they, like, I think there's like rose tinted glasses when it comes to running your own business and being self-employed. And I think people think, oh, it's brilliant because you've got so much freedom, you can choose your own hours, but in actual fact it's quite the opposite, isn't it? It's extremely stressful at times, but in equal measure it's incredible.
It's trying to find that right balance of working in the business as well as on it,
yes,
to make sure you're still moving forward and actually generating an income.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because I remember one lady said to me, sometimes you need somebody to, whether it's a friend or a colleague or someone that you've networked with, to kind of be the person that steps back and looks in on the business, because you're so busy in it. It's very hard for us as business owners to step back and look at the business as a whole, because we're so, you know, over consumed by it a lot of the time, aren't we?
Definitely.
What's been your biggest challenge so far, Katy?
I'd say my biggest challenge was being how I was going to get events up and running.
Yes.
So, as you know, events is it's my real passion. I mean, that's what I sort of specialize in. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at organizing, good at stuff, having the creative flair. And that's what I sort of really thrive in. So having a virtual assistant business, which was predominantly made up of social media and admin, obviously paid the bills, which is obviously my main goal.
First tick.
But how was I going to sort of start running events on my own? So I think that has been my biggest challenge, and trying to do all of that by myself. I've done the coordination and the management of different teams. So that's where I'm kind of at the moment. So what I think I'm going to do is actually split the business. So I will have Kova event support and Kova business support. So I've started working with associates who can help me with the virtual assistant, the business side of things. And that way I can sort of focus on pushing events. So weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, book launches, award ceremonies, team building. That's what I really enjoy. And I enjoy the variety.
And especially now that obviously things are changing a lot more, and now events are able to go ahead, it makes a lot of sense for you to do that, because you know that side of your business is really going to fly now that we can have events. Essentially.
And I think being able to sort of share my knowledge with others, I've really enjoyed, even if they're just sort of picking my brain for, you know, hints and tips. But I would like to be known as the expert in that area, and that they could come for me later on for any of my other packages. So
definitely.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, definitely. What have you noticed any changes within yourself since starting a business? Yes,
I have become a lot more confident. And while I have always had a problem with procrastination, I've got the support network now who will help push myself out of my own comfort zone, and actually get things moving, whether it be sort of mentors, support group, and I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere now, and I'm starting before I'm ready. I'm taking that leap, which is actually helping me move the business forward.
Definitely, with visibility and things like that.
Definitely. So yes, I've definitely become a lot more confident. I still obviously have the dreaded imposter syndrome, which will creep in every now and then. I still feel like I'm winging it, but
don't we all though?
Exactly.
I think we all feel that way, and I think it'd be weird if we didn't. I think you could look at so many people, even you know, famous people and things like that. And I bet that they still get exactly the same. But it's just about kind of grabbing the bull by the horns and just doing it, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned so far on your business journey?
The biggest thing I've learned, I'd have to say, is just go for it.
Yeah.
I could sit back and just plod along, but at the same time, that's not going to get me anywhere.
Yeah.
And without the encouragement of my network, support groups, and some great business relationships, which I feel like I can now call friends, I don't think I would have had that courage to keep going.
And the self-belief as well.
Yes,
isn't it?
definitely. They've definitely been my cheerleaders throughout the whole sort of process.
How important would you say it is to have, you know, a good support network around you when you're in this kind of situation working for yourself?
I think if you don't have it, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
It's if you have that self-doubt and you don't have people to sort of, you know, cheer you on and actually sort of reaffirm that you are good at what you do, and that you know that you can do this, then you're not going to find it. But it's also being supportive of others that you can get that back. Yeah,
definitely. It's like karma, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
And I think it's really helpful too to let people know who's listening that you might be waiting until you're ready to do something, or waiting until you feel more confident to do something. Like us as business owners, we can tell you that thing doesn't come. So you're best to just go for it, do it, and just take the leap. Because I think a lot of the time we kind of put self-doubt in our own heads, don't we? And convince ourselves that, oh no, I can't do it now because of this, or I can't do it now because of that reason. When really, if we just jumped in with 2 feet and just went for it, then like you said, that's what's going to enable you to move forward.
Definitely. Totally agree with that.
What's your highlight been so far, Katy?
Oh, highlight. I've had multiple highlights, I think, which has been fantastic. So considering I'm only just over a year old,
congratulations.
Thank you. Business wise,
I see the bubbly in the background.
I think, well, my first accomplishment was to be able to pay the mortgage and bills, because I mean, at the time I was embarrassed to admit, but I had to take a mortgage break.
Okay.
I didn't know where I would next get some sort of pay. Yeah, so having to take that mortgage break was a bit of a shock to the system. I knew that I've got 3 months to make it work, which also gave me the drive to sort of push myself as much as I could. The visibility, the networking, to actually get the inquiries coming through, which obviously happened. But that was, I think, my first main accomplishment. However, I suppose one of my biggest highlights has to be making finalists for the Women Who Awards for New Business of the Year.
Wow.
So I mean, while I didn't win, I still felt like a winner while I was there, because there are so many inspirational women at the awards ceremony. And I'm excited to say that I've now made the finalists for Startup Business of the Year with the FSB Awards.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so again, it keeps coming. And I think if I keep pushing myself, I can do it, and I just need to have faith that I can.
Absolutely. But I think it shows incredible strength of character on your part, though, when going back to when you said about taking that mortgage break, the fact that you pushed through and used that as your driving force to move forward shows so much strength on your part, because I think a lot of people put in that situation would really struggle with the pressure, because it is pressure, because you've got a time constraint, haven't you? So what you did was you turned that negative situation into something so positive, and look at where you are today.
Yes, definitely. And I'm proud to say that I've still got my first client on board with me. So,
that's fantastic.
I'm obviously doing something right.
I bet the first client is one that always sticks in your mind, because they were the ones that kind of took the leap and believed in you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's wonderful. What are your personal goals and aspirations for the future?
So I would like to have a team. So not just outsourced to associates, but I would like to have a team to manage the business support side of things.
Yeah.
So I can dip in and out when and as such.
Okay.
But like I said, my passion is events. I would like to be full of events. You know, the works,
all
the
year
range.
Round.
Yeah, a full range of those. So that's what I'm really pushing for now. I've got a variety of things lined up. So I've got book launch this weekend. I've got a couple of team building events, gala dinner, and also a wedding in September. So
wow.
Yes, it's all looking very bright for the future.
Bright and busy.
Yes.
If you could pick one, actually, Katy, what's your favourite event to work on?
Ooh, I would say I'm torn between a wedding and an awards ceremony.
Yes.
Because of the vibes, the excitement. I mean, there is that when you get birthdays and book launches and things like that, but there seems to be a different energy in the room. Obviously a wedding, you know, it's a momentous occasion, and then awards, everyone's just so excited. Yes, there's something about those two that would definitely be my favorite, I'd say.
I bet it's wonderful though to be like, I know it's your job and you're really passionate about it and you enjoy it, but as a human, I bet it's wonderful to be a part of people's huge milestones in their life. It's such a privilege, isn't it?
Definitely. And it's being there for them and, you know, being the extra reassurance. I even remember my first wedding I ever did, and the bride was positively sort of shaking with nerves. And I started sort of just talking to her, you know, taking her mind off things. I admitted this was my first wedding, and actually I'm quite nervous myself, but we're coordinating it for her. And by the end of our sort of little conversation, before she sort of entered the room, I was the one shaking and she was completely calm. She was so calm. She was like, "You've taken my mind off everything, but I'm sorry I've given you the shakes now."
I've given you my nerves.
So yes, I'll never forget that.
Oh, did you coordinate your own wedding?
I did, pretty much.
Did you?
So I have this groom's guide to a happy bride.
Yes.
Tips and hints of a groom's responsibilities, ways to help his bride, that I like to sort of offer as a freebie.
Yeah.
When I showed my husband this, he looked at it and said, "Was I supposed to do all of that?" I said, "Yes, you were, but I managed it all. It's what I do. It's what I'm used to." I didn't even think at the time.
Oh, bless you. I'm sure it went off without a hitch.
Yes, it was, wonderful day.
So what's next for Kova?
What's next? I need to work out how I'm going to split the business. I need to look at my personal goals as well as business, because I still want to be able to enjoy myself while growing the business.
Yes, that's really important.
And getting that work-life balance
Mhm.
in place. So that's I think my main goal.
Focus next, yeah. So if you could land your absolute dream event, what would it be?
Oh, dream event. I would. Oh, the list of events and possibilities is endless.
Or like your dream client, or someone that you could do an event for?
I think someone who had the budget to create almost anything that they want.
Wow.
And give me the freedom to create something that I think would suit them.
Mm-hmm.
So that would mean me getting to really know them.
Yeah.
Not just the odd meeting or two, but actually really get to know them.
Yeah. Find out what they're all about,
exactly,
where they've come from, what they've been through.
Yeah, their styles and fashion sense, you know, all these little things, to be able to create an event that's for them.
Yeah.
But that also comes with a lot of trust.
Yes. And money.
Exactly.
It's like all those events that you see, like in America, when those kids are like My Sweet 16 party, and it's like limousines and Rolls Royces and helicopters. Yeah, can you imagine? I bet that would be really stressful. So Katy, where can people find out more?
So yes, I've got a nice easy website to remember. It's probably best to find me there. That's www.kova, that's KOVA, support.com. So kovasupport.com.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for coming on, Katy. It's been wonderful to speak to you.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honour.
Oh, bless you. Like my fellow Woman Who Academy sister, I shall speak to you very soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.